Now we're going to draw out the shape following the markings. So if you concentrate on these three markings that you've got from the top, the shoulder one, the one in between the shoulder and chest, and the chest one, you need to join these up and draw like a curved line from here to there. So you can start from this end or that end. I'm going to start from this end because I'm right-handed. So just like that. So the line that you draw should have a curve as shown on here. So it shouldn't be straight, so don't go from here to there in a straight line. It will be that's meant to be your sleeve hole, so it needs to be curved. Next, you're going to go from this marking to that and then to that. So this one, you just join it up. So don't just make them really straight, just kind of give it like a curvy look like this, and then from that mark to there. The last one we need to join up is the marking from the hip to the one that's right at the bottom over there, but because it's quite a long line, my hand's not very steady, so I'm going to use this clipboard to kind of get a straightish line. It doesn't have to be dead straight, but I'm using this. So there we go. So that kind of gives you half a kameez drawing. So if you were to fold it up in half, that's how it would look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the shape out, but from the bottom here where you've marked it, I'm going to give it roughly an inch going all the way up to here, and then instead of curving it like this is, I'm going to go straight again, and then when we get to the top, I'm not going to give it an inch, I'm going to give it roughly like a finger space or like half an inch. I'm going to follow the same shape, but I'm going to give it like half an inch. You can watch me do it so you understand what I'm saying. So freehand, I'm going to get my scissors, so I'm going to give it about an inch and just cut. Don't worry if it's not really straight, it doesn't matter too much. So what I would do here, see the mark where the hip is, I'm going to give it a tiny little cut here, just so I know that's the mark for the hip. And then instead of curving it like this, I'm going to cut straight. That's simply because it's better to have more material left on the inside when you're sewing the actual suit than not. So when I'm going around this, instead of giving it about an inch like this, I'm going to give it less. That's because when you're actually sewing, you only need around half an inch on this area, otherwise it just won't sit right. So like you can see, I've followed the shape, but I've just given it roughly a finger space or around half an inch extra and cut around the same line. Right, now that you've cut that out, what I need you to do, see the line that you've marked, that you've drawn on, so I want you to get that line and fold. So go all the way across, fold, fold. You won't get a solid crease, but you're just going to get like a crease that you know is there. So do it all the way across. The curvy one's going to be slightly more awkward, but just do it bit by bit like this. And when you get to the end bit, slowly, just a little, go curved. Just don't rip the paper, whatever you do. Now what I need you to do is cut out holes like this. You can make them smaller if you like. Just depends on what kind of paper you've got and how easy it is. So across this folded line, grab your scissors and just kind of do little cutouts like this. And again, so you're actually doing it on the line that you're drawing. Reason for these are when you've actually finished cutting and on your material, you're going to use these lines to mark your sizing with a pen. So going across, so you can do them really small or big. Just take your time and do it all the way across, going all the way up. So I've cut out all the holes. Mine are, some are bigger, the others are smaller. I've got really thick wallpaper, so if you look on the other side, you might be able to see through. Okay, so now when you do use this on material and you need to mark your size, all you have to do is mark it with a pen in between these lines here. Now before this is finished, one last thing. So this shoulder bit here, as you can see, it's not straight. I left it as it was. So from your marking here, you can see that's where my cross is. So you have to go at an angle. So put a mark over there. So mark it up with this, but it has to be cut at an angle so it's going, so it looks like it's going up this way. So not straight, never straight. So always an angle that looks like it's going high, and that will always sit right on your shoulder. That's your template for the actual kameez, which is ready, and all we need to do now is the sleeve. Okay, so now that we've done this, what I would like you guys to do is find some paper, whatever you can find. You don't have to go out and buy anything expensive, anything that you've got in the house. I just pulled out an old wallpaper roll. Use that. So if you follow the instructions that I gave you today, do all the markings, do all the cutting out, and have this ready for me going on to the sleeve. The reason why I don't want to go onto the sleeve is because I always find that people, when they're cutting the sleeves, they always cut the end part of it that joins onto this bit here wrong, which is why most people say that you get like when you put in the outfit on, you actually get a gathering here. So I'm going to show you how to cut the sleeve right and actually pay more attention to that. So we'll leave that till tomorrow. But please share, like and subscribe, and I shall be with you guys tomorrow again, inshallah.